Hello and welcome to the Penno channel. Before we start this one, if you could share this stream across to everyone after and drop a comment on the stream as well as subscribe as well. We're trying to grow the channel, so we'd much appreciate if you could subscribe. This is a match review quickly of the Mostar game, which took place yesterday in Bosnia. Aston Villa won, Mostar won. It meant that Aston Villa qualified top of the group in the Europa Conference League. I'm joined in with my bro to go through that and also provide a match preview for the Brentford game on Sunday. Bro, how you doing and how did you find last night's performance?
Yeah, we got the job done, I think, and I'm just happy we don't have to play conference ball till March the 7th, is it? So
Yeah.
focus on the Premier League, man. So yeah, I'm buzzing. What about you?
Yeah, just happy we got through and came top of the group. It means there's two less games, no qualification against the teams that have dropped from the Europa League. A few decent names that have come down from there, Ajax being one of them.
Some big clubs,
It's not
yeah,
that
some
Ajax
big
have got.
clubs.
Yeah, so there's a few decent names there, but I think I fancy us against anyone. I do fancy us against anyone, so I'm positive. It means now, nearly 3 and a bit months break from European competition, so it's full focus on the Premier League. Regarding the game, from Wales Unit, I was uptown, watched it out, so my eyes were on and off the game. But what I saw,
Jealous.
it was a dull affair. It was a dull affair. I was kind of glad that I wasn't watching it with fully concentrating on the match because it wasn't the best of games. Due to maybe the feeling of Villa already qualifying, even though we needed to top the group. It was taken more as a training session. Also, the fact that the pitch wasn't the best. It just generally felt like just a dull game. But we did what we needed to do. Zaniolo ended up getting his first goal for the club. Brilliant ball in from John McGinn and a nice touch from Zaniolo and just slid it under the keeper. And it was great to see Philip Marshall making his debut for the club. From what I saw, I thought he had an all right game. I know he made that one mistake where he went over the bar eventually, but apart from that, I thought he had a solid game for his debut. Away in European competition, it's no easy task no matter what the opposition is. So I respect Philip Marshall and the performance he provided yesterday. What are your thoughts on the game then?
Yeah, I think it's just an example of how we can just struggle a bit when like a team just decides to just fully sit back. I think that was Mostar's game plan mainly. I agree. I thought Marshall had a good game. I thought he looked solid on the ball. He was showing some nice passes. He was commanding his half, I'll say, because he has to run out and clear the ball. So yeah, apart from that one mistake where he hit it off like Chambers' backside, maybe could have got closer with the goal and palmed it out. But as a starting debut,
I thought that was a great goal. I just think that's a really good goal.
The way he dived, he was kind of close. He was kind of close, but I ain't gonna hold that against him. I thought we got the job done in it. So
yeah, exactly. It's one of those. Yeah. You can have performances like that, nights like that. Maybe they had more rides than the weekend's game, so to come through with a point which we needed, yeah, I'm happy. Comment here from Michael. Hi guys, finally got to join you live, but I'm just starting work, so we'll catch up later. Have a good show at the Villa. Cheers, Michael. Thanks for the comment. It's much appreciated. Mostar done. No injuries that come out of it, but there's a few names that could be missing from the weekend. Obviously, we have Luca Digne and Douglas Luiz suspended for the game. Still nothing, and we didn't mention nothing much in his presser regarding the status of Leon Bailey and Yuri Tillemans. I don't think he's doing a presser today. He's possibly doing one tomorrow, I think. So, yeah, updates regarding Bailey and Tillemans will be key because
I thought he did a presser today.
Has he done one today? I haven't seen the presser today.
Yeah. He said
Was there any update on Bailey and Tillemans?
They're big doubts.
Yeah. So okay, so we can assume then that they are doubts for the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, what are your thoughts on that? Regarding that, how do you think we'll line up against Brentford? A Brentford side who are not in form at all. They've won one of their last 4 games, defeats in the other 4 games. They'll be missing Mbeumo, who's a key factor that already Ivan Toney suspended.
Matthias Jensen, who I bigged up on our Premier League team of the season so far video, who I think is a top player, one of the most underrated players in the league. So I'm happy he's out as well.
Yeah, he's been
But
great this
they've
season.
got Nathan Collins back, which is quite annoying. I thought he was going to be missing. He's probably one of their best centre backs, so that's a bit annoying. But it's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's the stage of the season now. We can't be going into games like Brentford and thinking that we have to be going to win that game. For me, the position that we're in, the form we're in, we should be looking to go there with 3 points for 3 points. For a side that has got a number of notable players out. So yeah, even though we do have suspensions, I'm confident of us going to there and getting a result. For Villa, on the other hand, how do you think we'll line up with that news? Do you think then Dunker comes in? Do you think McGinn moves into the middle? What other players do you think will come in? Ramsey, obviously Moreno will come in at left back. Yeah, what's your thoughts on the lineup that we'll go for against Brentford?
Is this assuming Bailey and Tielemans are out?
Yeah.
Oh, so back four, we know who's in goal. Back four, Moreno, Pau, Carlos Conza.
Mm-hmm.
Then I think Ramsey plays on the left. I think then Dunker comes in next to Kamara, which is a bit meh. I think McGinn starts off on the right.
Well, what did you think of Dunkel's performance against Arsenal? For you to say that is a bit meh, what's your thoughts behind that?
No, I just think he's a meh player. I just think it's such a big.
But do you think he can do a job against Brentford?
He was rubbish in the game against Brentford last season. That's what I'm kind of worried about. He was excellent against Newcastle, but against Brentford he struggled. He was being pressed off the pitch. I think he got substituted earlier as well. So yeah, I'm just not really that confident with Dendoncker starting. I just think it's just a big downgrade on what we do have. Whether that's because they're so high initially, but I think most Villa fans will be fine with Dendoncker being moved on in January. So this is kind of where I'm coming from. I just think he lacks the pace. He just lacks the awareness sometimes as well. He can make a tackle, he can make a duel, but he's kind of stylistically similar to Kamara as well in the way to play. One of them's not really one that's going to get on the ball and drive forward and try and be that creative type player that Dougie is. So ideally, it would have been Kamara, Tielemans, and McGinn, Ramsey. But if we're assuming Tielemans is out, then yeah, I think Dendoncker comes in next to Louise, McGinn on the right, Ramsey on the left, and
it's
then
no
Watkins.
Louise, bro. It's Kamara, so it'll be
that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
Dendoncker, that's what I mean. Dendoncker, Kamara, Ramsey, McGinn, and then Watkins and Diaby.
Can't see McGinn dropping in. We did see that a couple of times last season, and McGinn, Kamara midfield.
Well, he drops in when we're at home anyway. When I
know with the movement, but do you reckon we can see him starting there and bringing in like someone else?
I think he'll play Dendoncker. I think he'll trust Dendoncker more. Genuinely, yeah.
Then moving McGinn, you can't see Zaniolo playing.
I could see that as well. I could see that option, but so what? McGinn, Kamara, Zaniolo. No, I think that's weaker. I'd rather Dendoncker play with McGinn further forward. I think.
Yeah, that's fair. I think it's going to be that similar to that anyway. I think then Digne out and Moreno will come in. Dougie out, then Dendoncker will come in, and Ramsey, players, McGinn. Yeah, Ramsey, McGinn, Watkins, and Diaby come in for Bailey. The onus will be on McGinn to create. He'll be our most creative player. If we do operate with that, who drops, or do we not drop? Do you think because of that situation, Matty Cash comes into the side instead of Ezri Konsa? So then one of Dendoncker or Kamara can drop into the free, allowing Matty Cash to go further forward instead of starting with Konsa at right back. Do you think that's
so? What you're saying? No Carlos and then Konsa plays like centre. That's a possibility as well. I could see that. So what? Cash? Yeah, I think when you have Louise, I'm not going to say Digne because Moreno's a straight replacement and it's not really that much difference in terms of like the profile. But Louise coming out, no Tielemans and no Bailey, it's just massive, isn't it? So yeah, I guess that's an option. So what you're saying, Cash advances more, and then Kamara drops in, and then you play
or Dendoncker. I think Dendoncker might drop in. To be honest, I think
as a third CB. So then you'd have Pau, Konsa, Dendoncker. Then you'd have Moreno and Cash as the fullbacks, wingbacks going on, with Kamara and McGinn central.
Yeah,
and then Ramsey as the 10s.
Yeah,
that could work. You know,
that's what I think he'll go for. That's something like that, because I
There's
feel
no way
like
Bremer you can kind of get away with then Dunker dropping back as a centre back, can't you? I mean, you got more Pie and Whistler, they're still good players, but
Mhm. Yeah, I think it's just appreciation for how many defensive players would be on the field, and if that's the case, why would Konza be starting at right back? I think it allows us to play to what we know of Emery and how he sets up. The cash
yeah,
system allows us to play,
Cash,
more to his
Cash is a
style
good shout.
with the two defensive midfielders in the
Thing is,
side,
though,
but more defensively minded.
can Carlos be dropped after getting player of the match against Arsenal? It's like
I don't know if it's about getting dropped anymore. I
not
think it's
dropped,
about
taken out the team, then taken out the
what's
team.
best for the system. But I mean,
Like
big sides like Man City do that.
could arguably Carlos be ahead of Konza with his
Possibly.
passing?
I'm not denying that. I'm not denying that at all. But I could see a change to the back four for sure. Um, Other big clubs do that. Sometimes an Arsenal will bring in a Kivior in a game, or
Yeah,
they'll move a Tomiyasu to left back or something. They'll change something up. Man City do it all the time. So if we're looking to operate at that level or just below that, why can't we? I mean, it's more situational than the actual quality of the player. So yeah, I'd happily see that as well, because I think he knows just
You know what's mad?
quality with his tactician.
What's mad is how Ramsey's never considered as like a centre mid option. Like we haven't seen that yet. I wonder if
Yeah,
that Ramsey could easily play as a centre mid next to Kamara being, I think, like, and then who would you have? Maybe I don't know, a
do you
Zaniolo
think
or like
Ramsey's ability on the ball, his transitional playing, his progression of the ball's top tier. His passing ability is good. It's
he's
good.
got
It's
everything.
solid.
He's got everything, man.
But him dictating a game in the middle, I don't think he's just anywhere similar to how Dougie does. So I don't know
I
how
know,
well
but
it would work.
neither's Dendoncker, innit? Like
Yeah, but I don't think we're going to play
it's
that
more just
that
an
way.
options. Tillemans will be the closest thing to Dougie, but if he's not out, then it's like beggars can't be choosers kind of scenario. But I'm just thinking like Ramsey getting the ball forward like Dougie does, maybe not being as creative, but still having that passing ability in his bag. I think. Yeah, I don't think it will be that much of a downgrade. But I guess you'd want Ramsey further forward, driving into the box against Brentford. They're gonna play in the deepest block ever. I mean, they've got no Jensen, they've got no Mbeumo, Hickey's out, Rico Henry's out. These that have got. I mean, we've got injury problems. These that have got injury nightmares. So
Do
yeah,
you think they'll set up in a three then with Ben Mee, Ethan Pinnock, and Nathan Collins
fingers
coming into the
yeah, it
side,
depends if Collins.
and then operating with Mopay and Visser up front?
Yeah,
Potential
could do.
midfield of Onyeka,
Norgard.
Norgard, who else did I say?
Yeah, now
Yeah,
maybe.
look, played last time. Yeah,
Yeah,
now
good
coming
player.
into the side.
And they got
Yeah,
Keane who's Potter as well. He's probably one of their best outlets at the moment that they've got. So he's another threat that Cash or Konza or whoever's on that side would have to deal with. But yeah, Brentford, man, I put it in the thumbnail title. That was referring to me, man. I'm nervous for the game. We don't have the best record at Brentford. And I think Thomas Frank is a top coach, man. I think he's one of the best coaches in the league. So yeah, it's always going to be tough. You're never going to go there and have an easy game. But I think if we are on it, we can get the 3 points. But I would not be mad with our injuries. If Bailey and Tillemans are out, Louise and Digne are out, I would not be mad at a draw at all. Like, that's my
I understand that, but I think it's got to pay circumstantial now. It's a team in poor form. It's very poor form. I was more nervous going into the Bournemouth game, to be honest, after what I'd witnessed over the previous games, and Iriola was getting into place. This game, I'm not as nervous about. I think we should be winning games like this. I know we have a poor record at Brentford, but it's not the same Villa, so I'm more confident in that aspect. I mean, it's a great opportunity, and you don't get opportunities like this against sides. So I'm hoping we take it, to be honest, and I am confident in this game more than I was for previous away games.
I know you say they've been bad form, but like if you actually like take a closer look at like their underlines, like most of the games the XG have been equal in games of I think Liverpool, Brighton, and the Sheffield United game, the XG has been equal in the game. So I think they've been a tad unlucky in that aspect. I think Brentford are a better team than Bournemouth this season. I know they've had their injuries, but even tactically, I think they're a better team. So that's where I'm coming from, really, just that wariness that they are going to tactically be set up well. I think if we play our football, we can beat them. But I would not be too upset with a draw, honestly.
Yeah, I
before
understand that.
anyway.
I
If the
understand
game
that, but
shapes
then,
up from like
but if you come against a side who you said their statistical performance was equal to a Sheffield United side, I'd
yeah,
go into
no,
that
that's not my
confident.
point. That's not what I'm
No,
saying.
I
Not just
understand. I understand what you're saying, but
Arsenal,
that's my point.
Arsenal and Liverpool as well. Their XGs were exactly the same, and they've lost both games as well. I didn't think Arsenal deserved to win that game when they played them. I thought it was an
No, I
equal game.
agree. I thought that was a draw. Yeah,
So
I
what I'm
agree.
saying is, it's poor form in like quote marks. Like, I feel like they've been a bit unlucky recently, even with their injuries. Like, I think performance-wise they've played well, but results-wise, yeah, it is poor form.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair enough. I see where you're coming from, but for me, I think it's a game we have to go there and win. To be honest, I think it's an opportunity cost, especially with the players that they have out as well.
Yeah,
We have to take advantage of that. I
we'd
know you
definitely be
can have,
favourites.
yeah,
We'd be
yeah, and
favourites.
we should be favourites. You should definitely be favourites for that game, and I don't see why we shouldn't be. It's if you look at performances regard and results that have come into that as well, we should be. But yeah,
Do you not
I
worry
felt
about?
more nervous about Bournemouth, to be honest.
Do you not worry about like the team we've seen, like Villa teams, like this that don't gel? If there's like too much change to the squad, or a Villa team without Louise in the league, we haven't seen that yet this season. Would you be worried a bit about that?
But I've seen us play and have situations like this previously. We can take the Newcastle game, for instance, where we
Yeah,
put in a performance where players have just stepped in and put in a display. And my confidence in the squad over the season has increased, um, especially when we talk about players who last year we considered to be starters now coming in off the bench and possibly worrying about them coming in.
yeah, yeah.
I don't get why we have that. That should be the opinion when give it a few months ago we would have been saying how are they not starting when it comes to players like Ramsey and Moreno. So no, not really. No, I
I,
don't think
I,
that's the case for me.
I'm gonna be. think it's gonna be interesting just to see how we play without Louise, because he's the talisman, he's the natural leader, he's probably the
Of
best player
course.
this season. So let's see if these guys can play without him, because all the set pieces are going to be different. Um, whoever controls the ball in the middle, that's going to be different as well. The tempo is going to be different. So hopefully, and we can get them adjusting, and we can get a result that we want.
Yeah, for sure. You'd really like Yuri Tillemans to be available for this one.
Yeah,
Because in profile, that's the player who's going to be the most similar in the squad
and he
to
might
Douglas
still be
Luiz.
like, but they haven't been ruled out. Hopefully they can play, or even at
Yeah,
least come off the bench. Like, they haven't 100% been ruled out. Emery said he's going to see training tomorrow and see what going on and see what they're like.
yeah. Deontay says happy Friday up the Villa. Thanks,
Happy
Deontay.
Friday, Deontay.
Yeah, enjoy your Friday. Yeah, well, so predictions. You want to do one? What you
Yeah,
feeling?
I'll go 2-1 Villa. Watkins last minute header again.
Yeah, I'm going to go 2-1 Villa as well. Goal scorers, I'm not too sure on.
Watkins against his old club. Well, more pies their goal scorer, because the guy lost Villa, man. So
he's our bogey player.
big
He's a
up
bogey
more
player
pie
for a
though.
few teams, to be fair.
Big up more pie, because what you did against Arsenal that one game almost might just change the course of Villa. So big up yourself.
Yeah, you've had big players as well. Amy Martinez didn't feature, Ollie Watkins didn't feature. So some of our big players have had a rest, 4 weeks rest. Travels included, but they've actually not played minutes. So yeah, man, I'm excited for this one. I think it feels for me it's the right time to be playing Brentford and for us, to be going into this fixture. And yeah, we'll see how it goes, but I'm confident. Rich says, "Evening, guys. Sunday is a massive game." Oh yeah, Rich. Every game to the position we put ourselves in now, I feel like every game's just going to be a massive game, and
Yeah,
that's how it's
I
going to
seen
feel.
something. Not since 1980, 1981, where we won the league, did we have this many points after 16 games.
Yeah, yeah.
And we've matched our 1920 total. I don't know how we used to survive, man. Like, madness how we used to go game by game, like begging for a win. And now we've
Yeah,
just matched the 35 points in 16 games. Ridiculous.
times have changed for sure. That's for sure. Times have changed. Anyway, anything else you want to add?
Well,
Any more news?
yeah. Villa getting an investment from an American what would they call? I'm not sure what to describe them, but
Atarius. It's an investment.
yeah.
Yeah, investment
What did he say? It's just like
banking firm.
6.5 billion equity. Did I see that correctly? Or
Yeah. That's the equity of the
that
company.
bro, that is massive. That is massive news.
It just
I'm not sure
allows
how
more
much.
cash flow, I feel like,
Yeah,
through V Sports, and be good for sponsorship, getting sponsorship deals. I feel like as well, it will allow Wes and Nassif to not use their own money as much, and because obviously an investment firm coming in for all the good, they'll still want to be making some money from this as well.
oh, for sure. Yeah, it's just shareholders.
So yeah, exactly. So yeah, that will be
Everyone
interesting
wants
to
Villa.
see. I know for sure, and it'll be interesting to see what their involvement actually is and how that progresses. So
The word
yeah,
infrastructure has been used in it, whatever that means. It's a bit of a broad term in it, really, infrastructure.
yeah,
But we'll see.
inclusive of both the men's and women's teams as well, which is good.
Yeah,
Inclusive of all V Sports, yeah, and another big announcement which may play a part in that as well is the ground will be going to 36,000 when it is it as of next season.
I think so. Yeah.
So yeah, renovation of the north, which will be going on for a couple of years. So yeah,
Still
that'll be
more than St
interesting.
Andrews, isn't it? So
I know, yeah, exactly. But that would be
still a bit
interesting,
mad.
dependent on where we are in Europe as well, and if we do get to
Atmosphere
that
could
Champions
improve.
League
That could
stage,
make the atmosphere
it'd
better.
be
I know it's
it'd
bad
be
to say,
mad.
but like
It would be reminiscent of Monaco. Do you remember the Monaco ground? Well, it still
nah.
is the Monaco ground. There's one side which is just like there's no
Oh yeah,
tier
car
at
park.
all.
It's gonna be a car
Yeah,
park, isn't it?
well, it's just like a design.
Or like
So
Rayo
yeah,
Vallecano, you ever seen them? Where they're just
nah.
behind. It's just if you ever watch Rayo Vallecano, it's just a massive sign that says "Go Rayo" behind the goal, and it's been like that for ages.
Be reminiscent, like how Chelsea used to have the cars at Stamford Bridge on the outside. They used to have like
Yeah,
a car park. It'd
briefly.
be reminiscent of that. It'd be reminiscent of that.
Rich has got another comment.
Yeah, Rich says, I saw Villa win the league and football wasn't anywhere near as good as what we're playing now. That's a fact tonight.
That's a
Seen
big
Villa win the
statement.
league, so I'll take a statement, bang on, Rich, because yeah, the football, that Man City game will live long in my memory. Just for, I've never seen Villa play like that against such a brilliant team. So yeah, that for sure will last long in the memory for me. And yeah, let's just hope we can build on it. With Brentford coming up and then Sheffield Wednesday next Friday, and the teams around us who they're playing. Arsenal have Liverpool next weekend. It would be such a big 6 points for next two if it's possible. It'd be humongous. It really would. But yeah, concentrate on Brentford. Hopefully, Tielemans and Bailey are available, at least within the squad anyway, because Bailey's been on fire and Tielemans has been really good recently as well. And they're just up for extra options with, the suspension of Dougie, and with Digne as well. But obviously Moreno will come in for that. Yeah, that's it from me. Have you got a question for the guys in the chat?
I ain't got a question, but I just wanted to say, tomorrow, come on, Leon Edwards. Hopefully, knocks Colby spark out, man. Leon Edwards was asked about Villa again in his press conference. It's mad to see. I saw what would you call him at? Is he a CEO, Chris Heck, or like he's just in charge of like marketing and he liked to tweet on Twitter saying Leon. So hopefully, if he wins, man, we can get him out of Villa Park, man. Get him to show the belt. Like, come on,
I'm surprised that hasn't happened before.
Yeah, man, this should have been done. It's just an obvious one, man. Leon Edwards is massive after that head kick, so should have got him with the belt at Villa Park, man, and done that. But hopefully, we can still
get the full recognition for it.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Deanta says with no Europa Conference League football until March the 7th, now Villa can fully focus on the Premier League now and possibly the FA Cup as well. Yeah, I agree with that. I know there's a lot of the older generation. I'm quite old anyway, but the older generation who saw the European Cup and the league titles, that's the last one they have to chalk off their list to see.
I ain't seen nothing. I ain't seen another.
I was a little, very, very little when we got League Cup. We were League Cup winners, so yeah, I ain't seen anything either. An Intertoto here and there,
and a playoff.
That's about it. And that's about
heartbreak.
it. In the playoffs.
Pure heartbreak, man. Pure final heartbreaks. That's what I was seeing.
Yeah,
But
so
Members
hopefully we
always
can change that. It's looking like we can change that for sure. It's looking like that's going to be that's not going to be here for too much longer. So
could you
can't wait.
imagine? Could you imagine an FA Cup, a conference, and a Champions League qualification in the league? Like, how full would your belly be after that? Like, you're shaking your head. What
Bro.
are you saying? Title. You're shaking your head. Really.
I'm still in dream mode. I'm still in dream mode.
I'm
That's
just
probably why I have
enjoying it.
so much confidence for the
I'm
weekend. I'm
enjoying
still
it.
in dream mode, man. Once Emery said I believe, then I'm on board. When
It's
when
funny because
when players are saying that, and when Emery stated if we do beat them both, we're gonna talk.
well, he's backtracked on that, which I thought was funny. In his presser today, he said,
mind
"Ask me
games.
match day, yeah, ask me match day 32 if we're in the title. If we're still around there, then I'll start talking about it." I think he must have got too carried away, Emery, and
He
just
probably didn't believe we'd get the 6 points. To be honest, if he's being honest with himself,
yeah, true
I
stuff.
don't know facts. Yeah, so
Something else I
yeah,
saw is Emery to McGinn saying he needs to improve. Like
yeah.
I'm happy, but like the Bournemouth game, last away game, like he wasn't good enough, so he wants to improve. I love that. Love that attitude, man.
Yeah, that attitude's elite. That's why he's an elite manager, because no matter how good the players are playing, he wants them to push further and he wants better from them, and he wants to better himself as well. He doesn't rest on his laurels. He's just a workaholic and he wants everyone to improve along with himself. So him putting that pressure on McGinn again, I'm sure McGinn will rise to it, because any pressure Emery's currently put under McGinn, he's stepped up. So yeah, that's good to see. That's really good to see. And McGinn won't be the only player he'll be doing that with. You always see Dougie commenting, and he puts pressure on Dougie as well.
Yeah.
And Dougie stating that he's hard on me. He wants me to improve, but I like that, and we're seeing the fruits of it. So yeah, more
Did you want
more
to
of
touch
that.
on? Did you want to touch on Lenglet interest from AC Milan and that
Mm,
Bayern Munich as well? What do you reckon?
what I, I don't know how much of paper talk that is.
So he's some
It,
reliable. Well, Fabrizio said it now. Milan have asked Barca for contact. So
Yeah, but I understand though. Aren't Villa in the position of where they have to? It's in Villa's rights to cancel the loan.
yeah,
It's not.
I'm
It's
not.
not
I'm
just a
not.
recall. They can't recall
No. I
Lenglet.
think I'm not sure the specifics, but it does seem that way that Villa have the choice. But I think Barca's idea is they're not happy with the amount of game time he's getting, or lack of, should I say? And like that, even if he got loaned to AC Milan, they reckon it would improve his market value. So
Yeah,
Barca,
but and what they
Barca,
have no
Barca,
basis though. But
Barca. When Lenglet is holding the Conference League trophy at the end of the season, yeah, that's gonna get your market value, man. He's gonna play all the games.
but
But he's weird. He didn't play yesterday, so that is just weird, isn't it? That
yeah,
scenario.
yeah. But I don't understand that. To me, surely was it 8 million the loan fee that was
I don't.
reportedly paid, or something
No, it's his
around those,
wages. We're paying like
inclusive of
half.
wages.
Yeah, and he's
Well,
on
in
like
wages, it's 8 million in total, wouldn't it be
he's
the
on like
loan fee?
150K a week or something ridiculous at
Yeah,
Barca.
I think it equates to 8 million
Might
euros,
be more.
something along those lines. Anyway, if that's the case, and we've agreed that payment for the specific time, then surely Barca have no leg to stand on, no matter how aggrieved they are that he's not playing minutes,
He
and
ain't in the
they have
contract, and
interest from AC and Bayern Munich.
like some
So,
contracts have break clauses, don't they? So we don't know if it's got a break clause in or not.
but then surely the break clause is in Villa's power. That's my point. Surely all this
Oh,
you
as
can
in
have
a
all the
break? No,
paper talk.
as in no. A break clause is so as in like what I'm saying is Barca would have put a break clause. Like a club can put a break clause in, and that gives them the power to cancel the loan. So we don't know if one's in there or not. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, yeah, that would make more sense, but that's my point. I haven't seen no reports stating that,
Yeah.
so
So
all
maybe
of this
Villa
is
have the
just seems
power.
like paper talk to me at the moment.
Hopefully
From that,
Villa don't back down because this guy, yeah, he's fine for what we need this season. Like
yeah,
he's been fine.
for what we're trying to achieve as
So
well.
unless we're gonna spend
TJ's here. Guys, big up lads, big up TJ. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, unless we're gonna
Yeah, carry on, bro.
spend big on a left centre back, which I can't see, because they'll still be looking at Ming seeing what he's like in summer. Then yeah, Lau getting rid of Lenglet and keep Lenglet. He's been fine.
Absolutely fine,
But it's
filled in
just
well.
weird. It's just weird he didn't play yesterday, and there's been like no update on him either. So we
Yeah.
don't know how far progressed the talks are. Maybe they're a lot more progressed than before. Maybe Villa have given in and let Barca take him for relations. I don't know. But
Yeah, interesting to see how that develops and what the actual contract states. Because the meantime, I just take it on like I don't just take it and read on, because he's currently under Villa's watch, and I'm not aware of the contract situation. So yeah, If that were the case, obviously Mings is still a while off at the moment. Hypothetically, if he was to go, do you think Villa bring someone in, or they just work with Pau, Carlos, and
Nah,
Conte for the
they
meantime?
bring another short-term option in, but I don't think they'd be better than Lenglet. I couldn't see him spending big money on a left centre back. They just bring another
Say, for
short.
instance, you save that amount of
You look
money
at
on loan from
Augustinson or
Lenglet.
something.
Say,
Augustinson
for
type deal.
instance, obviously the wage deal. If it's Lenglet's here for half the time, that's half the wage they're going to receive Barcelona. So you'd have that 4 million or whatever it is that was going to be spent on wages to attract another centre back on loan from whoever that may be. So yeah, it'd be interesting because that's quite a substantial, that's a substantial wage packet Lenglet was on.
Yeah, we don't want
So
Pau
it'd be
playing
interesting.
conference games till like the semi-final, man. Like,
Nah. Is that it then with Callum Chambers? He played last night. Is that it?
he got his buttocks on the ball and nearly scored an own goal. So yeah, I think that's it for him. I think he needs to be playing football every week, I reckon. Depends if he's comfy or not, though. I swear his contract's like 2025 as well. So
Exactly. It's hard to see him moving on, isn't it? Yeah.
and then
we'll have to see.
Coutinho's got a contract still till 2026. Whoever was in charge of that deal, man, Jesus. We said it at the time as well. Like, I love Coutinho and he started off well, but come on, man. Like 2026. Coutinho could just be like, you know what? No, I'm not going to leave. I'm going to see out my contract, and there's nothing we can do about it. So
Coutinho, when is his loan until the end of the season?
yeah,
Is it for definite? Yeah.
Yeah, and I
Because
think
I don't. Is how does this? When does the Qatari league end?
I don't know.
As in, could he be coming back earlier than expected?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Bring him on in the final.
I don't think he'd have, room for that. But Champions League qualification in the league, Coutinho winner somewhere down the line. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I don't know how that works or how he'd have eligibility for the squad.
Apparently, the last season it started August and ended March, so we might be back in March.
Yeah. I don't know what the registration protocol is. I don't think he'd be able to play.
No.
Yeah,
I don't think he starts.
Yeah,
that's it. That's it then.
Yeah. Thanks all for joining. Again, leave a comment after the video if you're not watching live, and let us know your thoughts on the game against Mostar and your thoughts going into the Brentford game. Another comment from TJ. I think this is what adds his laughing. Coutinho better than Zaniolo. Do you agree with that?
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. I think Coutinho is a better player than Zaniolo. Zaniolo will still have time, but I think for the limited time Coutinho was there, he still affected games a lot more. There's a few games where Coutinho had big performances. So, yeah, see over time how that goes. Yeah, again, if you could like the stream, subscribe as well to the channel. We're pushing to get to 500. We're in the mid 220s. So, yeah, every little will help. And we appreciate you doing that. Up the Villa, looking forward to the Brentford game, and hopefully we go and get the 3 points. Cheers.